Crashed north of Melbourne yesterday, killing 5 people. Reporter Sefti Ferrier joins us now from the crash site at Mount Disappointment, which is about 50 kilometres north of Melbourne. Steph, what can you tell us about the chain of events that led up to this happening yesterday?
Good morning, Joe. Yes, it was a business trip that involved a convoy of 2 helicopters that had been hired as a charter flight up to northern Victoria. Sadly, one of those helicopters failed to emerge from low-level cloud here at Mount Disappointment, which is north of Melbourne, as you mentioned. And what we do know is that investigators have been hoping to return to the crash site at first light this morning. However, they would be impeded by a lot of this really dense and rugged terrain. You can probably see it just behind me on the other side of the road. It's really difficult to even see, probably only about 4 or so metres into the bush here. And that means that it's really posing some challenges for those investigators as they try to piece together exactly what happened in this helicopter flight's final moments. Now, what they are doing and what we've seen is a couple of bulldozers being brought up here among the emergency cars that have been let past this police roadblock. And they're actually hoping to use those and excavators to cut a path into the crash site, because when they first discovered the helicopter wreckage and then they had search and rescue crews there, just sadly determining that there were no survivors, those search and rescue crews actually had to be winched down into the very dense canopy from above from a helicopter. So we do know that obviously, as I mentioned, there was that low cloud. Now, we heard from Acting Inspector Josh Lungalan, and he said that while the cause of the crash was still unclear at this stage, investigators would certainly be looking at what role those weather conditions might have played.
There was low cloud this morning. One helicopter came through the cloud, found that the other one was missing, and police were notified. The investigation will proceed. The ATSB will take primacy of that, so I have no indication of what the cause of the crash was.
So, as the Acting Inspector mentioned there, the Australian Transport Safety Bureau is now handling this investigation, and we are expecting to see the Chief Commissioner, Angus Mitchell, come down here as well in relation to that. Now, he has actually said that any components that they discover amongst the wreckage during their investigation and retrieval process will be taken back for further analysis and investigation to Canberra, and also they'll particularly be looking for any flight recording data and also speaking to anybody that might have known what happened in those final moments. For example, the pilot of the other charter flight that was also going in convoy as well.
And Steph, what's known about the people who were on board this helicopter?
Yes, so we do know that there were 4 men and 1 woman on board. The woman was aged 50 from Inverloch in southeast of Melbourne, I should say, and also a 32-year-old man from Cheltenham in Melbourne southeast, as well as a 73-year-old man from Albert Park in Melbourne's inner southeast. There were also 2 men on board from New South Wales, aged 59 and 70, and police were saying that they were getting in touch with all of the next of kin to be able to notify them last night. We've also heard from Microflight, that's the company that operates these charter flights, and the manager there said that this was a very highly respected and experienced pilot. They have offered their deepest condolences to all of those who have been affected, and they say that they will be cooperating fully with any of the investigations that continue on from here. And they have also said that they are suspending all of their operations until next Tuesday.
And Steph, just before we leave you, because there'll be people out there who would like to hear any further information that crops up about this today, is there any indication of media conferences that are going to be held today, or what time they'll be held?
We have heard from the Australian Transport Safety Bureau that now has carriage of this investigation, and they have said that there is the possibility of a press conference. It would probably be held in the afternoon at some stage. Obviously, at the moment, they are focusing on just trying to get to the crash site and to be able to conduct their investigations, but we will also be receiving some sort of a statement from the ATSB as well at some stage today too.
Yep. Okay, Stephanie Ferrier reporting there from Mount Disappointment to the north of Melbourne.